So in the previous video, we looked at our first community interaction, and we understood that competition was a main driving resource, a driving component that gave us the idea of competitive exclusion and the experiments and theories that we saw behind it. Now we're going to move forward with community interactions and entitle the next flowchart Community Interactions 2 and look at something a bit different than the idea of competition. So we'll entitle this Community Interactions Part 2, Roman numeral 2. And in this interaction of communities, we're going to continue this look at the ecology of communities by understanding the second main type of community interaction called predation. So number 2 will be predation, and that's what this video will be all about, the idea of predator-prey concept. And predation is simply going to be considered a plus-minus interaction, meaning that in this interaction, one benefits, so that's the plus of this interaction, and then the minus, of course, will represent one not benefiting, while the other doesn't. So it's a very simple interaction that's full of many different examples that we can study utilizing our community ecology knowledge that we have thus far. But before we get into those examples, let's do some basic background information on the idea of predation and where it comes from and how it results in a community interaction. This idea of predation is very, very simple. It's something that all of us already understand and have a good idea of what it's all about. It's just the idea of consumption, because predation is all about resources as well. It's the consumption of one species by another. Simple as that. And when we say one species, we only want one letter P because it's just one species that we're referring to by another. Simple. It's the idea of consumption. That's predator-prey predation. But specifically, the thing that's interesting to ecologists and those who study community ecology is that we notice something called an evolutionary arms race, a very interesting concept that community ecologists have come up with. And we'll put this in quotes. It's called an evolutionary arms race. And in this idea, what we notice is that there are two competitors in this battle, in this war between predator and prey, and those are the exact two fighters in this evolutionary arms race, the predator and the prey, a classic idea of fighting for resources. The idea of consumption is going to play out in this predator-prey relationship. What's going to happen in the predator situation is that the predator in this evolutionary arms race will evolve, and it will evolve its capabilities in the sense that the predator evolves what we can consider better prey-catching strategies. So that's what the predator wants to do. It wants to catch prey, and it will evolve better prey-catching strategies. But this is not a one-way relationship. The prey will also simultaneously evolve, and the prey will not evolve better prey-catching strategies, but it will actually evolve better predator avoidance strategies. So here we have a clear distinction between the two arms, the two abilities of these two concepts of predator versus prey. Predator evolves better prey-catching strategies. Prey evolves better predator avoidance strategies. And this is going to lead to an idea that both of these are going to play a critical role on each other. Predator and prey. Each exerts, we can say on the evolutionary scale, each exerts a strong selective force. Each exerts strong selective, meaning natural selection, strong selective force on other. So those who have the best predator avoidance strategies versus those who have the best prey catching strategies will fight each other for this consumption concept, for this resource concept, for this limiting resource concept that we've established. This, all in all, will be termed something very easy to understand, a very nice evolutionary term called coevolution. And it's exactly what it sounds like. It's exactly what we've defined through this predator-prey relationship. Coevolution is simply the interdependence, so dependence between species. Interdependent evolution, specifically EVO for evolution, of two, and here comes that key ecological word, interacting species. That's the key in all of ecology. The idea that there's interaction and coevolution is a great example of an interaction between two interdependent species, predator and prey being the two species evolving in this arms race. So that's our basic background information behind predation. We can talk about predation by looking at real-life examples, and that's the best way to understand community interactions and thus the best way to understand community ecology. Specifically, we can look at things like adaptations by prey and adaptations by predators. We'll do adaptations by predators first. How do predators evolve? How do they get better at catching prey? That's the idea right here, prey catching strategies. So what we can see is that predators will notoriously evolve sharp senses, very keen senses, keen eyesight, keen hearing, very sharp senses to allow them to better catch prey. They will also evolve things that are very commonly seen like claws, fangs. All of these things are necessary because they're going to eventually, hopefully, consume the prey based off of their catching ability. So claws, fangs, poison, those are big adaptations that we see. Predators are usually quite fast and agile because they have to catch prey. And also they will oftentimes exhibit camouflage. And that makes a lot of sense because they also have to sometimes sneakily catch the prey that is within reach. So those are some key adaptations that you definitely have seen before. It's very, very clear, very, very obvious that these are the arms, let's say, the abilities that this predator has developed through an co-evolution with the prey that it's trying to catch.